Howdy folks, Spencer here, and today I'll be giving you my thoughts on the Ace Gamer Aurora wireless controller. As always, chapters of each topic are listed below. First, a quick disclaimer that this product was sent to me directly from the manufacturer in exchange for doing this video on it. However, they have no editorial input and they are not seeing this video prior to release. Everything that I say here is based on my hands-on experience with it over the past week and a half. With that out of the way, let's head into the basics. The Aurora retails for around 30 to 35 bucks and is available in 4 different color schemes. So you have just a generic black color, which is what I have here. Then you have pink, flowing light, and galaxy. And as for the platform support here, you can see it lists PC, iOS, Android, the Nintendo Switch, and they say more here. I'm assuming more just indicates the Steam Deck, which this does work with. It's detected as an Xbox controller from the testing I've done. And as for the connectivity options, it's got 3 connection modes: Bluetooth, 2.4 gigahertz via the included USB dongle, and of course you can have it directly plugged in. They do also include a USB A to C cable in the box. Feature-wise, what makes this stand out against your standard Xbox controller is number one, the Hall effect joysticks. Those are going to be a bit more reliable, a bit more accurate than your standard analog joysticks. There are better joystick technologies entering the scene, such as TMR, but that is still found on controllers typically at a higher price point. I don't think it's hit this low of a price point yet. So having Hall effect joysticks on a controller that's under 30 bucks, that's good to see. And again, that is going to be a nice improvement over the standard Xbox controller. Now, if I flip this thing over, there is some interesting functionality that they have baked in here. You've got 2 macro buttons, and you can have these set up to do one of the different keys that are on this controller. And there's also switches next to them. So when the switch is right next to the button, that button is enabled. And if you push it away from the button, that is going to disable that button. So if you're playing a game where you don't want to be hitting these macro buttons, you can just go in and move the switch over to disable them. And when you're in a different game where you want that functionality back, just move the switch back towards the macro button and it's good to go again. Now at the top here, there's also some interesting functionality with the triggers. So you've got switches there as well. And when the switch is pushed away from the trigger, it will allow you to fully depress the trigger like normal. But when the switch is set next to the trigger, it's not going to let you go down as far. So it's similar to what I saw on the Gamester Cyclone. It's not anywhere near as good as what the Cyclone does, where it swaps over to a switch when you toggle it there. But having somewhat similar functionality on a controller that is coming in at nearly half the price of the Cyclone 2, that's pretty good to see. And there is also a turbo functionality baked in that you can have set up to work alongside one of those macro buttons. You're going to definitely want to be reading the manual here when you're going in and setting that up, but you can have that go in and spam whatever button from this controller at one of the frequencies they allow. So 5 hertz, so 5 times a second, 12, 20. You've got some options there to have a key keep being spammed. So really nice functionality baked into this. Definitely a better option than your standard Xbox controller. And those of you that saw the last controller I reviewed will be glad to know that this battery is actually matching what they have listed on the marketing material. So that is good to see. And I do also want to note, while using this, the vibrations did feel a little bit stronger. And yeah, the vibration motors in here are definitely a bit larger than what I've seen on some of the other controllers I've reviewed. So yeah, if you're looking for vibrations, then this controller definitely has that as a perk. Now, talking about the feature set is cool, but how does this controller actually feel to use? And having used this over the past week and a half, it feels perfectly fine. Is it the best controller that I've ever used? No. There's been much better controllers that I've used. I really like the Gamester Cyclone. The build quality of that is better. It's got every feature this has, but done better basically. And it's got mechanical switches under the ABXY and the D-pad. But the thing is, this comes in at typically twice the price of the Ace Gamer here. So, what this has at this price point is pretty good. Your closest competition is going to be something like the 8BitDo Ultimate 2C. And there's definitely going to be some people preferring to go for that just for how popular that brand is, the customization aspects that they have. But I think there's pros and cons to both of them. For instance, on the 8BitDo, there are some other buttons that you can customize, but they're right up around R1, R2. They're right smashed in there. And if you don't want that, if you want something where it's on the back of the controller, like what you have here, then the Ace Gamer is going to be the better option there. So there's pros and cons, and at $30 there is a bit of competition, but I think the Ace Gamer is holding up well. And you can get it a little bit cheaper if you go through their website. They did provide me with an affiliate code, which will get you 15% off for any of the 4 color schemes. So that'll take these controllers down to $25.50 per. And at that price point, that's pretty good. If you're willing to spend more, you can definitely get a controller that has a better feature set. Something like that Gamester Cyclone is going to feel better to use. But, that's twice the price. So if you're on a budget, the Ace Gamer Aurora works perfectly fine. It feels good to use, and I think you'll have a good time with it. And that's going to be it for today. So thank you to Ace Gamer for sending this controller my way. Again, this is a really nice budget controller if you're looking for something under $30. And as always, thank you to all channel members and viewers for the continued support. See you guys around.